Hey guys, welcome back, Bushcraft family, with another video. Oh boy. Yeah, it's time for some more prepping your soul. Um, yes, I know I'm on the Matthew kick, but it's some good stuff. Good stuff. And the more I dig into this, I could read the same bit over and over again and come up with different meanings, and you do more research and you find out a lot of different meanings of a lot of things. Now, I don't know if everybody was interested in the last part, where we went over, the temple and the sitting on the Mount Olives, all that stuff. Well, we're really getting into it now. Yeah, we're really getting into it now. Let's go ahead and switch over. Let's make sure this is popping up there. Good, 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 good. Okay. Now we're going to be on, uh, again, this is Matthew 24, verse 15 this time. That's where we're starting on. And it gets real good. And I'm gonna try really hard, very hard. And this is all we're doing. We're doing 15 to 28. I think that's enough for one of these episodes. So, we're gonna dig in. We're gonna dig in. This has got some good stuff to it. So, let's go ahead. Again, Matthew 24, verse 15. Therefore, when you see the abomination of desolation, which was spoken of through Daniel the prophet standing in the holy place, let the reader understand. Then those who are in Judah must flee to the mountains. Whoever is on the housetop must not go down to get things out of his house. And whoever is in the field must not turn back to get his cloak. But woe to those women who are pregnant and to those who are nursing babies in those days. Moreover, pray that when you flee, it will not be in the winter or on the Sabbath. For then there will be great tribulation, such as has not occurred since the beginning of the world until now, nor ever will again. And if those days had not been cut short, no life would have been saved. But for the sake of the elect, those days will be cut short. Then, if anyone says to you, behold, here is the Christ, or he is over here, do not believe him, for the false Christ and the false prophets will arise and will provide great signs and wonders so as to mislead, if possible, even the elect. Behold, I have told you in advance. So if they say to you, behold, he is in the wilderness, do not go out. Or behold, he is in the inner rooms, do not believe them. For just as the lightning comes from the east and the flashes as far as the west, so will the coming of the Son of Man be. Wherever the corpse is, there the vultures will gather. Ooh boy, that's some good stuff there. There's so much in this. I could probably talk on this for a good long while. Now, we're going to talk about the first part here a little bit. Now, there's probably a lot smarter people than I am that would interpret the Bible and stuff. I'm going to give you some of the ideas of what people think the first part of this means. Now, the first part that I want to talk about is about how Matthew, and it's just not Matthew that brings this up. It's also in Mark 13:14. Now, when you see the abomination of desolation standing there, or standing where it should not be, let the reader understand. Then those who are in Judah must flee to the mountains. Now, this is Matthew and Mark both agree on this. They put this in here. Now, the thing that you get from Matthew is why did they emphasize so much about Daniel in this? It could have been, tons of different meanings, but like Daniel speaks of this several times about in Daniel 8:13, Daniel 9:27, Daniel 11:31, Daniel 12:11. It's about the abomination of desolation. And it's, like I said, it's interesting that Matthew adds a footnote here directly encouraging the reader to understand the reference. Again, Mark does the same thing. He's describing Jesus's words. This is their understanding of it. This is them. This is as Matthew and Mark, their understanding of the words Jesus is speaking here. And Jesus is telling them about this. He's telling them about the abomination of the desolation. It's all set. Now, we're going to go down the rabbit holes a little bit here. Now, I've got it all set up here off to the side. Some Jewish scholars felt the prophecy had already been fulfilled in 167 BC. There was a evil king. I forget what his name was and whatnot, but he constructed an altar to the Greek god Zeus in a temple and ordered that the unclean animals such as pigs be sacrificed there. And however, Jesus speaks as though Daniel's prophecy has not been fulfilled yet. Not entirely, So this kind of puts that notion not quite right. And there's another interpretation that events in 67 through 70 AD, particularly Jesus's prophecy here. The temple was desecrated by the act of zealots, I think they're called. I'm probably butchering the name, but they killed priests and spilled their blood in the temple. That's the desolation. Following that, Rome burned the temple down, tore it down, then set their own up with their own standards and everything. The whole Roman Caesar thing went on. And that's the defile part of it. So that's a lot of people think. But this is where I'm going with it, and I seem to again, some people will probably not agree with this, but the rebuilt temple will be violated by figures known as the Antichrist. And he kind of speaks of this. These are the ones that you can't trust. These will be the false Christ that will rise up, and you don't want to believe in these things. They'll do the signs and wonders and the whole thing to try to trick you. Again, these figures are known as the Antichrist. If we go to Revelations 13 through 4, there's a lot there on this. Talks about the heads and the beast and all that stuff, and this will mark the transition from a time of tribulation to one of great tribulation. Matthew 24:21, for then there will be great tribulation, such as not occurred since the beginning of the world until now, nor ever will be again. Ooh, that's a lot right there. If you just pay attention to those words, for then there will be great tribulation, such as has not occurred since the beginning of the world until now, nor will ever be again. This is more easily fit with contents of Jesus's remarks on this point, meaning focusing toward the end of history, that type of thing. Also, it's 24:14. I'm sorry. I'm trying to remember all these verses, and I'm not very good at remembering these things, but the gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in the whole world as a testimony to all nations, and then the end will come. It also makes more sense of the idea of this abomination triggers an era so ferocious and dangerous that it would destroy the entire world if not cut short. Yep. And that's Matthew 24:22. And if those days had not been cut short, there it is. Those days have not been cut short, no life would have been saved. But for the sake of the elect, those days will be cut short. It meaning so much. Jesus' warning for those who see this moment of abomination is to immediately run away from Jerusalem to escape from the judgment that follows. There, like I said, there is so much in this. We could talk about it for a long time. But let's go ahead and go down a little bit. And I don't want to go too far because there's more stuff a little bit further down that also ties into this. So I don't want to go too far into this, but man, there's so much here. So much here. Like I said, there's a lot in this. Jesus begins acknowledging that the scribes and the Pharisees carry a certain level of legitimate authority. They set, speaking on the seat of Moses. Jesus does not tell the people to rebel against them. Rather, he warns Israel not to imitate their lies and their deceit and stuff like that. This is it's like the heart is motivated in spiritual blindness. It's bad to follow that, but you feel it. You know what I mean. Here's Matthew 23, 1 through 3, I believe. Yeah. Then Jesus spoke to the crowds and to his disciples, saying, "The scribes and the Pharisees have seated themselves in the chair of Moses. Therefore, whatever they tell you, do and comply with it all. But do not do as they do, for they say things and do not do them." Yep. That's a good one right there. How many times, and this is religious people, and I'm not digging on, religious, churches or anything, but how many times will somebody tell you, they're that religious figure, and they tell you, don't do this because it's a sin. Don't do that, and yet they do the same thing. They do exactly what they tell you not to do. And I think that's where they're going with this, and I think this is says a lot right there. So much here, and I'm sorry this is jumping around from one Matthew to the next, but a lot of this stuff ties in together. I mean, you sit there and look at all this, and I like this. Let's go. Let me put it back here, and I think it's here. Yeah, we're going to 26. We're going to read 26 over again. So if they say to you, "Behold, he is in the wilderness," do not go out. Or, "Behold, he is in the inner rooms," do not believe them. For just as the lightning comes from the east and the flashes as far as the west, so will the coming of the Son of Man. And there's a cliff note here. Let's go ahead and see what this is. I.e., be visible everywhere. So, saying the Son of Man will be visible everywhere. Wherever the corpse is, there the vultures will gather. Man, that's a lot right there. Let's go ahead and talk about that a little bit more. Let's see here. Now, what I'm thinking here, that the beginning here, 24:26 there, the disciples are being warned somehow. In the future, when Jesus is gone from them, liars will try to deceive them by saying that Christ has returned to earth, meaning, and I do believe this is part of Revelations, the false prophets, the Antichrist, Satan himself, all that. And again, it says this in Matthew 24:4. Remember when we talked about, and Jesus answers and said to them, see to it that no one misleads you, for many will come in my name, saying, I am the Christ, and they will mislead many people. Unfortunately, there's going to be a lot of people being misled with this. And it's also in Matthew 24:11, and many false prophets will rise up and mislead many people. 24:25, for false Christ and false prophets will arise and will provide great signs and wonders so as to mislead, if possible, even the elect. Behold, I have told you in advance. And, they're going to say lies like Jesus never returned, and, he was not really the Messiah. We're hearing that stuff right now. There was no such thing. He didn't rise in 3 days. Somebody stole the body, and this and that. And we've already been hearing that. So it's people like that that's going to rise up and try to trick you and mislead you, like it said. Either case, Jesus declares it will be absolutely a lie. They should not even go out to investigate. That's the, he's out in the wilderness, Don't go out and investigate. No matter how convincing the deception might be, stay the course. And I'm kind of getting ahead on my stuff here, but yeah, Christ is saying in no uncertain terms that they won't learn of his return through rumors and secondhand gossip. No one will need to search around to find him. When he returns, it will be obvious and glorious. There's not much more to say to that. Sorry, I'm talking too much. So, hopefully what I'm saying is is somewhat understandable. And like I said, we could go through a lot of this over and over again. I could go through little sections, and we could go over 10 different meanings for whoever is in the field must not turn back to get his cloak. What's this mean? That means get your behind where you're supposed to go. Head to the mountains. Don't turn around. Remember what happened when somebody else decided to turn around and look what's going on behind them. It didn't turn out too good for them. So, with that being said, this 24 is packed full of so much stuff. And we're just at the beginning of this. I mean, this next the glorious return. Oh boy. Oh, we're going to see a lot in that one. So, like I said, we're just going to go in little bits of this. That way I don't try to get too much in there, I guess. But anyways, I want everyone to have a blessed day, and we'll catch you on the next one. God bless.